Hi, it's Konstantin here again. Warm welcome to Module 3, Lesson 4, where we're actually going to launch your campaigns, right? This hard work that you've put in the course thus far is finally going to pay off, right? In Module 1, you've done a lot of research, market, competitor research. You come up with a fantastic offer that is compelling, that is exciting, and we've crafted also the copy that we are now finally going to use. Right? You have written one long form ad, you've written 5 headlines, and you came up with 3 creatives that we will need, which are kind of like our core ingredients for this lesson that we'll need to launch the campaigns. Right? In Module 2, you've done the funnel optimization, right? So your conversion rate is nice and high. And in Module 3, which is this module, you have set up your business manager, or polished potentially a few things, adjusted some settings to really, protect yourself and have a very seamless experience when advertising on Meta. So let's dive right into the lesson. This is what we're going to cover today. So I will share with you how to do kind of proper asset organization so that everything is just very neatly organized and you have all your assets kind of like you can reach them at all times, which is quite important. Then I will share with you kind of like a quick campaign structure that you'll know for the rest of your life, and you'll know kind of like what the advertising naming conventions mean. And then we're finally going to launch. You need the ingredients for this campaign: your copy, your headlines, and your creatives. And we will also launch a remarketing campaign to cross-pollinate all of our traffic sources and really get you that solid, juicy return on ad spend. So let's kick this one off with the asset organization. And it's just incredibly important as we're working with a ton of different files, the different type of copy creatives, to have everything properly organized. And I want to quickly share with you how you can do this. Right, and you can easily do this by creating simple folders. Here's the one that we recommend for this course, is to have the course bookmarked as well, so you have always access to it in case you forget something or you need access to some links, the calculator, etc. Then obviously the ad account, the copy, creatives, and the worksheet, right? So you can quickly get access to your copy and you want to kind of quickly launch things. And right now it's just a matter of copying and pasting things, right? So that's a very easy, very effective way to organize your assets. Same thing for creatives. Just gonna give you a quick example on a dummy account and how you can quickly launch things when you have 3 creatives, 5 headlines, and 1 body copy, and of course the ad account itself as well. So make sure to bookmark your ad account. You have nice and quick access whenever on a day-to-day basis you want to quickly check your results. You'll always have access to this one right there. Awesome. Let's dive into the campaign structure as well. And it's actually super simple to understand once you've heard about it. Like, you'll never forget it for the rest of your life. But in advertising terms, we've got a top of funnel, a middle of funnel, and a bottom of funnel. And you can call it tofu, mofu, or bofu, right? Like, if you've ever seen it before, you're like, for the first time, like, what the heck is that? But it stands for basically the top of funnel. In advertising terms, is when we target cold audiences, people that have never seen you before, never heard about you, going to try to sell them something or, incentivize them to become a lead, right? Top of funnel, that's that. A middle of funnel is where people are a little bit more warmer, right? This could be your Facebook engagers, could be your Instagram engagers, people that have already gone to your website, maybe clicked a few things, became an add to cart, right? Like, they already initiated to checkout. That is your middle of funnel. And then the bottom of funnel could be even people that already purchased something from you and you want to upsell them kind of like additional products, right? That's the top, middle, and bottom of funnel, right? So in the campaign, we are going to launch the top of funnel and middle of funnel to begin with. So let's prepare ourselves for the launch and finally push the full throttle and take off together. Of course, under my instructions, we are going to make sure that it's going to be a safe flight for you and that you're going to get the results and the return on ad spend that you deserve, right? So this is after 10 million in advertising ad spend. I will reveal a very simple campaign structure, very simple setup. By the time you've done all of your research, you've written all the copy, it's literally right now a matter of copying and pasting. If you can press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, you'll be able to proceed with the step, right? But you've done a mountain of work to get to this stage, right? So it might be a little bit surprising to you, like you'll be like, wow, is this it? Is it that simple? Yes, it is. If you put hundreds of hours in the research, in the copywriting, in the landing page optimization, yes, it's a matter of just a few minutes of a launch, copying and pasting the copy, copying and pasting the creatives, and it's really as simple as that, right? So let's dive into the ad account. So I'll share with you kind of like how we launch things and the structure that we use. So, so by this time you're familiar with the ad account. I'm sure you already run ads, you want to improve your campaigns. You're familiar with the preliminary and conversion metrics that we've discussed in module 2. And it's really about just pressing the create button and get your ad sets and campaigns launched. So there are a few campaign types you can choose. This one is a waste of money. Traffic is a waste of money. Engagement, you can use, we use this one to build up a page. If you've got a new page that you want to get to 10, 100K likes, even 1 million likes, you can boost it up. And it's a common practice for, if you've seen a page with like 1, 2, 3 million page likes, it's usually a worldwide campaign, just scraping up all the likes and building up the authority. So if it's a complete new page, we do recommend kind of the only kind of an engagement traffic campaign that we do recommend. Other than that, sales is the one you want to go. So it's sales campaign is using pixel optimization, whether that's going to be a lead or a sale. It's using that Facebook AI pixel tracking that sends back the traffic to the ad account and uses it as optimization, right? So this is the only campaign that you really want to select and proceed from there. So again, there's a lot of different changes. Every month there's like a new kind of cosmetic feature. All kinds of changes are coming through every single month. So it's almost impossible to kind of keep up with the updates. But here we've got an option between the manual setup and the advanced shopping campaign. I recommend the manual while this campaign setup is still with us. I truly believe that at some stage within a few years, it's really going to be all about the creative, all about the copy, the headlines. It's going to be super easy to just chuck in all of your assets and it's fully going to be automated for you, right? And that's what we really specialize in. That's what I've been learning you through the course, by not focusing on the technology, which again changes all the time, but focusing on understanding what your market wants. What are the pains, fears, hopes, and dreams? What are your competitors are doing, right? Like, how can you create a compelling offer? What is the human psychology behind a compelling offer? How can you make things exciting, right? Like, that's what we have been focusing on throughout the whole course. And, you know, now we're in the ad account, so we'll just do a little bit of the techie stuff, but you can, while it's still with us, let's just go through the manual setup together. I will leave the kind of naming conventions for you, and I've already quickly just set up a campaign so we can quickly go through the video without too many hiccups. And I recommend having the naming conventions named super clean as well. So this is the one that I've already set up, which is kind of, could be your brand, could be name of the creative, of the campaign that you want to launch, and then top of funnel. Like, you want to have that distinguish between middle, top, and bottom of funnel, so you can have that segmentation, right? Meta asks us a bunch of other things that you just don't want to touch. It's just the basic setup right there. You can create a campaign where all the budget is automatically for you kind of like optimized. I recommend doing it the manual way, where we have a set budget per ad set, and it gives us a lot more control and a lot more capabilities when it comes down to testing ad sets, and it will make a lot of sense to you why it is. So here we are in the ad set level. I recommend using the follow naming convention, where you name the countries first, the places where you're going to run your ads, something about the audience that you're targeting. Could be an AI audience, could be an interest stack, could be a lookalike audience, right? Could be a completely broad audience without any targeting. And then the demographic that you want to target. So in this case, 18 to 65-year-old, man, woman, and something about the copy as well, or the creatives. And in this case, there's a story copy that I want to give you as an example in this dummy account. So then we go to conversions, always optimize for website conversions, leads or purchases. That's how you want to rock and roll. Attribution settings, I highly recommend just leaving it at 7-day click, 1-day view. A lot of people think that that's going to make or break your campaign. To be honest, it just doesn't matter. Like, it's all about, and you'll see why in a moment, where the audiences are, while we're speaking, becoming AI audiences, and constant different technological changes are happening. And I believe in the future this is going to be gone anyway, because it just adds more complexity. But it's again, it's all about the creatives. It's all about the copy and headlines and the content that you produce these days. So budget, I recommend to have a set type of budgets, right? So in our agency, we use both for Facebook and Google accounts, 20, 50, 100, and 200 pounds, dollars, Australian dollars per day in ad sets or campaigns. We use the exact same structure across all our accounts, Facebook, Google, and this way it's just very clean for the team as well, because we manage a lot of accounts. And if one person is using $30 per day, another person is using 2500, it's just, there's no structure. And you know, again, from experience, I recommend, if it's kind of like a low ticket item, 20. If it's kind of a decent product, start with 50, 100, or 200 pounds, dollars, Australian dollars, right? So those are the budgets that we recommend. If you run campaigns with $500, $1,000, $2,000 per day budgets, we found that it's just, there's going to be too many fluctuations and you can't really spread the risk. Yes, it's harder on bigger campaign budgets to optimize and run ad sets at 50, 100, or 200 bucks a day, but it gives you more risk diversification, gives you more control, and that's how eventually we get awesome results for a client. So I highly recommend following the structure that I've just mentioned. Start with 20, 50, 100, 200 pounds, dollars, Australian dollars, with whatever you're comfortable with. So always schedule for the next day, midnight. And here we got the audiences. So you want to select the locations. Canada and United States is our target audience. I recommend to test both AI audiences as well as a stack of interest. Huge interest audiences, business page admins, Facebook page admins. Obviously our audience are people that are already running ads. So those are kind of the audiences that we want to select. Nice and broad. As you can see, the audience is absolutely ginormous, but that's exactly what you want, because all these platforms, they just become more automated, more AI, right? And it just becomes easier to target only if your copy creatives and headlines are good, right? That's when it eventually comes down to, right? So it's a stack here of different interests. And that's how we're going to rock and roll with this particular ad sets. Placements, highly recommend just to let Facebook, Meta do its magic and just select automatic placements. Then we go into the creative, right? So that's the third level. We've got campaign level, we've got ad set level, and we've got the creative level, right? Here, again, the naming convention is incredibly important, just like a part of a particular aircraft component. Every single component has a place in an airplane. Nothing is just like, there's no like a screw or bolt that's just laying around there without any purpose. Everything is engineered in a way where it's just, you can strip it to the smallest bolt, to the smallest alloy or any little component, and even has a serial number. And that's exactly what you want to do with your creatives as well. A creative consists of the image or a video. It consists of the body copy and the headline, right? Those are the three needle movers, and you want to name them, right? So if you've got a creative folder, name them by a number, 1, 2, 3, right? So these are the ones that I'm gonna test in the dummy account, and they're all slightly a little bit different. That's why we just give them a different naming convention. Same thing with the copy as well. Add copy 1, headline 2. You want to keep things precise, and you don't want to like have things all over the place, right? So this is very important. All neatly numbered. And then of course the headline. So select your page, Instagram account, create the asset, upload your content, and there we are. It's just a matter of copying and pasting the copy at this stage, adding headline 1, and have the description right there. So this is how it looks on paper, right? So we've got the copy right there. Then we go the headline and then the description, right? So that's how we rock and roll. Description, call to action, no button. We want to have the headline nice and clean, presented right there. We don't want to distract people with an apply now or book now or anything like that. We want it to appear very native, very organic, as if it's a post that people would see from their friends. That's how you want to do it. And, you know, again, there's a lot of curiosity, storytelling in this creative, just what I've kind of been teaching throughout the course all along. And the headline is, it's just an offer headline, $27 crash course from banana picker to top ad expert, right? And it's just like kind of me like from after the banana picking, then flying the airplane, and then here in the office, right? So that's the one that I thought will be working, and don't overthink it too much, right? Just be playful around it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can always have a second shot. You can keep testing hundreds of creatives, a lot of copy, headlines. It doesn't matter. Whatever you think is going to work, just chuck it in there, test it out, see if it works. If it works, you keep it. If it doesn't work, you eliminate it. That's the constant process you want to go through. So please don't forget the website URL to add it in, right? And then finally, with the tracking URL parameters, what this basically means is just gives the link an extension, and it forwards this extension additional information into your CRM. Right, may that be ClickFunnels, Go High Level, any other CRM you're using, WordPress. It just funnels through that additional piece of information about where the traffic is actually coming from. From Facebook in this case, this UTM also includes the campaign name, campaign ad set, and campaign creative, right? So when you have a very clean naming convention, you can track back all of your sales, so you know exactly where this came from, right? So this is a little bit of extra tracking for you right there. So this looks really good. Let's press publish right there. Cool. So this is just headline 1. We have written 5 headlines. So let's just simply duplicate this creative. Go back to our folder. We change the name, headline 2. Right, chuck it in. And then we had the description as well. Boom. Right, so that's headline 2 for you. And then headline 3. Right, nice and quick. Don't overthink it. Right, so we've got headline 3, headline 4. Scale at jet speed. And headline 5 right there. Alright, so we duplicate it nice and neatly. Right, so there, boom. So it takes a little bit of time to get the creatives uploaded. So now we've got one creative 3 in this case, body copy 1, and 5 different headlines. But remember, we also had 2 different creatives. So what we would like to test is we just completely isolate everything. We isolate the ad sets and the audiences, the demographics, and the headlines and body copies. So the only variable we're going to change are actually the square creatives. Right, so here we've got the creative folder. I've already downloaded these ones. And we just want to try kind of like a different creative as well. So let's go ahead and try that one out. Go back to the ad set. We go back to the ad set level, we simply duplicate this one right there, but now the only thing we're changing is the creative, right? Right, so the only thing we've changed is the creative right there. So slight difference, but again, it is a different image, and maybe people like this one a little bit more, right? So now we have to change the naming convention as well, because we're testing creative 1 right there, right? And we save it and we publish it. So this one is new, creative 1. Creative 1, creative 3, and creative 2. So simply duplicate it again, change up the creative to creative 2, and again, let's not forget to change our naming conventions so we actually know which ones are working and which ones aren't. There we have it. So creative 2, publish again. And there we have it. So I hope this structure makes sense. It's a very simple campaign structure where we've got a top of funnel. We've got 3 different ad sets, creative 1, creative 2, creative 3. They're all story copy. And in every single creative, the only thing that we've we've kind of like changed, the only variable is the creative right there. So this is creative 1, copy 1, headline 1 to 5. Here again, we've got creative 3, headline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, copy is the same. And then here, again, the variable is the creative 2, copy 1, headline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so this way we cover a lot of ground. We cover different creatives, we test different copy and different headlines. And after a few days, a few weeks, we will get the data from Facebook and we know exactly which creative works, which headline works, which body copy works. Right, so it becomes this crazy split test of different headlines, copy, creative combinations. Right, and then you might figure out that headline 4 across all creatives have worked well. So now you can use that headline 4 and test different body copies and test different creatives. So it's like a never-ending split test that we're running for our clients by following the money, following what works, what gives the best results, and keep improving it, keep iterating, and keep trying to, in copywriting and kind of advertising, is kind of killing the control. That's kind of what we're trying to do. We've got something that's working, it's working well, and you want to constantly improve it, constantly make it better. That's what advertising is all about. So now we've set up our top of funnel campaign. Let's also set up our remarketing campaign, which are usually the most profitable campaigns because you cross-pollinate the traffic sources, right? People come to your website, you remarket them again, they check out your Facebook post, you can remarket them again. Instagram page, they've placed a comment on your IG, you can now remarket them again. It's just like, it goes so deep in how precise you can remarket people these days. It's absolutely incredible, and it's a good thing for us as marketers that we can utilize these remarketing audiences and place either the exact same ads that we've already written for top of funnel, but you can also be a little bit more creative and come up with different hooks and offers, right? If someone, especially in e-commerce, which works incredibly well, someone visits your website, they become like an add to carter, they check out, but they don't purchase. That segment of the audience, you can now place an ad in front of them, like, hey, we've seen that you've been almost there, but you didn't purchase. Let us give us a 10-20% discount code, right? Usually those campaigns just like, they go ballistic. It's just the only downside of remarketing is that you have a set audience, so the scalability is not as high. And what we recommend is to spend around 10 to 20% of your total budget on remarketing campaigns. That's how you kind of can keep the mixture lean in your campaign and have like that optimal performance where you have a middle of funnel campaign that is crushing it, spending 10-20% of your total budget, and then the remaining 80% is just cold traffic campaign that is, scooping up a lot of sales leads and calls. Right, so the way to set this one up is, again, it's incredibly simple. What we're just going to do right there is duplicate the campaign. Right, and we're just going to name it middle of funnel. On the ad set level, again, just the exact same settings, except now we can remove all the audiences right there. And we can select the audiences that we can use for remarketing. Right, so now you can change the interest right there. Website. Website visitors, and you've got a remarketing campaign right there. Awesome. So with the remarketing campaign, the budget, as mentioned before, 10-20% of your total budget you should spend, and just monitor the frequency as well. So I've already shared the preliminary and conversion rate metrics. When your frequency is over 2 times, meaning people see your ads 2 times a day, it means that you have to pull back a little bit on the budget. Otherwise, the ad set and campaign is just going to underperform when people just see your ad over and over and over and over. That's what you should monitor when running a remarketing campaign, and obviously the conversion performance. But have it around 10-20% of your top of funnel budget, and you'll get really good results. Now you can do the exact same thing, just duplicating the 3 ad sets, but changing up the audience. You can change it to Facebook engagers, video viewers, Instagram engagers, and just do the exact same thing. And there's no kind of like right or wrong here. It's just about being playful, test a lot of things out. See if it works. If it doesn't, you just cut the ad set and stop it, right? Like it's almost impossible to lose. You just launch it, see what works, you keep what works, and you obviously cut the losers every single time. That's the framework for all of your campaigns across all of your channels: Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube ads. The exact same kind of framework, right? You don't want to just waste your money on ads. You only want to run it towards campaigns and ad sets that do work, right? So just be playful, test it out, see how you go. And that's the middle of funnel for you. So now you've got an incredible solid structure. And again, this is the exact same structure we use to manage accounts spending $50 a day all the way up to $10,000, $20,000 a day. Super simple, super clean. Of course, with bigger campaigns, we test a lot more things on the ad set level. So we're constantly launching new things, spending more per ad set as well, $100, $200 per ad set. And that's how we rock and roll. So here's the action items: is to have your assets organized, create a folder where you have your course, Facebook account, creatives, your copy, all in one neat folder, so you can always access them and test things whenever needed. I've explained the campaign structure that you can follow with the naming conventions, top, middle, and bottom of funnel. It's very effective, very clean, and it just keeps everything organized. I've explained how you can launch the campaigns, how you can budget things, launch a ton of different creatives, cover a lot of grounds when it comes down to testing copy, creatives, and headlines. And I've also shared with you how you can cross-pollinate all the traffic sources and get a really juicy cost per lead, return on ad spend, low cost per acquisition by just remarketing the same audiences: website visitors, Facebook engagers, Instagram engagers, etc., etc. So that's module 3, lesson 4 for you. Super excited for the next one. I look forward to seeing you in there.